Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Quid Prog Quo, the episode where Notes from Notes Reviews channel we discuss two different albums and discuss our favorite parts of them. The premise, as we discussed in previous episodes of this, came from your channel. Just to give everybody a quick little background, where you brought people on and gave them a band they've never heard and vice versa, and then you talked about it. So we've adopted it recent months on this channel. We did a couple of episodes. So when we were prepping to do this new one, it we sort of changed the concept a tiny bit on
Yeah.
this because we are so immersed in Prague, it sort of became a weird thing where like I'm trying to think of the craziest things that you may not have heard of and you as well. And
Yeah.
it was either becoming like we've heard it, we've heard, because we've heard everything, or it was the most obscure thing that literally no one on earth has heard it. And then really, what's the point? So,
Yeah.
what I suggested was maybe we do it each episode based around sort of some kind of theme, right?
Mhm.
And then you suggested what about bands that only have one album? So it the idea will be that it will still be sort of obscure, but not Dark Side of the Moon or Close to the Edge, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about the album that you picked, and
Sure.
we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. So this record came out in 2008. It's Ephrat with their only album, No One's Words. I actually have the CD here. Um, it was produced by, I think, Daniel Gilden Lowe helped out with that from Pain of Salvation. And the album was mixed and mastered by Stephen Wilson. Um,
Right.
so, some pretty big and prominent names within the prog sphere kind of helped out with this. And it was released through Inside Out. So, most of us proggers should know about Inside Out. I feel like this record was kind of a like flash in the pan, and then most people forgot about it. Every time I bring it up with a lot of my prog friends, I feel like they either were like heard it, but didn't really take a whole lot of time with it, or they didn't hear it at all. And I found I kept coming back to it because I loved it when I first heard it. And yeah, even now, I still really love the music, even what, 17 years out, however long it's been.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Well,
love it.
it's one I hadn't heard of, oddly
Mhm.
enough. And if you would have said Israeli prog band mixed and matched by Stephen Wilson and released on Inside Out, how I hadn't heard it is rather shocking,
Yeah.
um, which is weird. Um, yeah,
Well,
so
and
good to check
and
it
like
out. I mean, it was a
yeah, if you can find it, that's the hard thing right now because I think
right.
they've removed a lot of it from streaming sites. Like it used to be on Spotify. I haven't been able to find it on Apple Music or Amazon Music. So at the moment, the only way to listen to it for free without buying, shelling out the for like, $20 or whatnot for the actual physical thing, is through YouTube. And in the YouTube video that we're sampling, the tracks are out of order. It starts with the
Right.
last track, the big, almost 20-minute, the 19-minute reel attempts 1 through 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it starts with reel and then it goes into the show, which is technically the real first track. So
Yeah, that's a weird thing too. But then if you look in the comments, as we talked about, the
mhm.
comments put the track listing in the correct order. So
But it's
and
still out of
with
order.
timestamps, so it makes no sense and it's
Yeah,
completely wrong.
yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, I will say by my sort of checking it out, maybe they put real first because it's the best song, if
It
we're
is the
being
best song.
honest.
It
So
is
I
the best song.
think maybe that is why they
Yeah.
did that, because they're like, we need people to get to this one. They may not get
Mhm.
to it. So let's just put this one first.
I mean, that's fair.
Uh,
That's fair.
you know, I don't know. So my initial thoughts, we'll go into playing a couple of
Mhm.
clips on this. I
Yeah.
mean, oddly, I mean, if you would have told me something is mixed and mastered by Steven Wilson, I would have thought it sounded better.
Mm,
And I think it has a very, very outdated sound for 2008, which is not that long ago.
yeah.
It sounds more like mid 90s
Okay.
production,
Yeah.
early Enchant records, stuff like that. It has that
Sure.
kind of sound to it. So I thought that was kind of strange.
Yeah.
It does have a little bit of a Porcupine Tree influence to it, so I sort of get the
Mhm.
Steven Wilson thing. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I think maybe
Mhm.
discovering in 2008 it might have more, or you know,
Yeah.
a while back might be a little, it might stick around a little bit more, but certainly some good stuff on it. So you have
Mhm.
some sections you think we should check out?
I
We'll go with
do.
your picks first.
Yeah, I do. So, yeah, I think this whole album is a master of the buildups and payoffs. Um, without burying the lead too much, because I will, talk about Real. But honestly, the first track as well of the show really exemplifies how this band uses the buildups. Um, the timestamp I have is 24:35, which is the beginning of the buildup, with the payoff
Okay.
being at 27:20. So anywhere you want to start within the 24:35 between that, and because the big payoff happens at 27:20. So that entire
Okay.
stretch is just the build up.
Okay. Let's see. Let's check it out.
Like, I feel like this is almost like Ghost Reveries from Opeth, like some of their more vibin tracks.
You definitely hear the Middle Eastern influence there too.
Mm-hmm.
It's very funny because I was going to pick a part to show from this song, and it's completely different.
Oh, interesting.
It would sound like a different song.
Yeah, yeah. So from this point on, it's just a building of that motif that gets resolved at what did I say, 27:20.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that was what you're talking about.
Yeah. That whole buildup and like that scene
Yeah, that's pretty
throughout
cool.
the album. Um, the other one that I really love, and this was the first song I heard from the album, was The Sum of Damage Done, silhouettes 1 through 5. And that's where Daniel actually sings on it. And I think that's how I found out about it, because somebody was like, "Oh, Daniel Golden Low is singing on this other album. You got to check it out." And
Hmm.
so let's see here. Instead of doing the whole big build-ups and payoffs, the big finish, um, is at 58 minutes. So like right at the end of the the way that YouTube has structured it, right at the end of the album itself. It's the big finish of
right
this,
right 58.
Yeah, right at 58.
Okay. All right. Let me jump in. Oops.
Gotta love that vocal.
It is a good ending for the album. It could have been the ending of the album.
It could have been. Yeah. Honestly, like I'm not too upset of how the YouTube video decided to chop things up. But for me, because I'm so used to hearing the album proper, it goes right into Real Attempts 1 to 3. So yeah, I have a couple of timestamps myself. Did you have any timestamps for Real? Because I know you said that was the best song, which it's fair.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's 19 minutes or whatever. I picked a couple of sections. I mean, just going back to like the beginning of it, around 4.5 minutes, just a minute, just to check out. Like, I think this is maybe the early chorus that I had parked. Yeah, this part's so cool.
Long ago, but not far away from here. Mumbling words that seem to make no sense. Promise them that I'll try to open the door, bring them back.
Yeah, I think the riff is what I was trying to show there. Yeah, into this. Yeah, all that's killer. I mean, that's really cool. And then I had also just sort of the big ending.
Yes, I had the big ending as well.
Yeah, around like, what I have, about 17.5, something like that.
Yeah, I had 17 was the start of it.
Yeah. The cymbals and the snare are so bad.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, because I have the CD, and the CD sounds pretty good. It doesn't have that same kind of clean sound. But yeah,
Yeah, so that's the only that's my biggest complaint. It's just the production is like so
Yeah, it almost
rough.
needs
At least
like a re-release, it needs like a
yeah.
remastering. Like let's bring it to the 2024 2025 landscape.
Yeah, but it's weird. I mean, it's not in print, it's not on streaming, it's
Mm.
like non-existent. So kudos to you for championing this and
Hey,
letting
I
people
gotta.
know, because I showed this to a few people as well and no one had ever heard of it. So
Wow.
yeah, pretty cool.
Great.
Interesting.
I'm doing the good work, championing
Yeah.
those albums that everybody forgot.
That's what we try and do here.
That's what this is all about.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other one that you said, bands that only have one album, and immediately
Mhm.
the main one that came to mind for me was maybe a band that's obviously more known in our circles. I think
Yeah.
I
I
feel
think
like people know this
much
record
more
and will
well
have heard this
loved.
record.
Yeah.
Is Native Construct's Quiet World, which is
Hmm.
um I have the YouTube playlist here, but I mean this is one of the great albums of the last 20 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that happens with it is that because it's only one album by this band that then went away, never toured, never did anything.
Yeah.
I think it does get forgotten. Even
Yeah.
by me, who every time I listen to this, I'm immediately blown away. It's utter and complete genius. It's crazy. It's Between the Buried and Me meets Queen. It's so
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
and done so well. So for people that don't know, I'm gonna try and remember a little bit the story. Maybe you can corroborate a little bit of it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically guys that met at Berkeley and started writing this album as an assignment in class.
Right.
So they were given assignments of writing this kind of song or this kind of thing, and they started writing these things and eventually realized they had come up with something amazing and made demos out of it. Tommy Rogers from Between the Buried and Me somehow heard it, got them signed to Metal Blade,
Hmm.
and then this album came out and got all sorts of amazing press. And then I think they started to try and write a second record, and they were so burned out on the process of writing the first one and it being a school assignment and the whole thing, they just didn't want to do it anymore and disbanded. Is that about right?
That's what I remember. Yeah. Because I think it was even like Tommy that had recommended, hey, you guys got something good. You need to, you know, put out a second record, like a follow-up. And yeah, I think they got like a half a song in and they were just like, I can't do this. And they also, I believe, caught the ear of Brian is it Slagle at
Slagle.
Metal. That's it. I can never pronounce these guys. And it was through them that they actually got the contract
Yeah.
through the Metal Blade Records.
Yeah. I mean, the production's awesome.
Yes.
I believe it's programmed drums, but they're done amazingly well. And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
and
If you hadn't
like
told me it was
ridiculous well.
programmed drums, like I would have believed that it was like, yeah, there's some guy behind the kit.
It's it's immensely well done. So, they did have a couple of singles with videos. Like they put a band together for a minute to try and make a thing. It's also a loosely based concept record about a guy who is a mute who imagines a quiet world that he goes into. I don't concern myself too much with the particulars of the story.
I remember it being a very like incel-y version of Tommy from The Who, where it's like, I'm mute,
Yeah.
I'm blind, but I'm going to go into myself to live out my fantasies. And
Yeah.
for me, I can kind of take it or leave it. I look at
Yeah,
the
I
music and
I don't
yeah.
care about it so much, right?
Yeah.
And you can't even understand half the time what the words are being.
It's true.
So it's fine. I have a couple of things that I picked for it. So this album came out about 2015, I believe.
Mhm.
And the band recently posted on socials that they're thinking of doing like a 10-year vinyl reissue that
I
may or may
would
not
be on
happen.
that
So
for
that
sure.
would be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't know this album, it is truly one of the great lost albums of this decade of this
Yeah.
century. It's that good. That's what I think. But anyway, I'm gonna jump to the track that I always loved is
Mhm.
Come Hell or High Water.
Yep.
Which is the fifth track. and it's just bonkers. So I'm gonna skip the little brief opening here and dive in.
I still think to myself and wonder if this was worth it. For it seems that these days I can't stand still for a moment. I'm sick of drifting, and my feet won't rest or reoppress their pivoting. Misery, your familiar face still lingers around. Needless to say, I'm a victim of lunacy, but that can't begin to explain how it's happened to me. But still can't believe that my life is now constantly pulsing free. And now
This part coming up is the best. It's so all over the place and nuts, but with the most wonderful melodic chorus.
That's it,
That
you know?
that dynamic of that chorus going into that growling part is amazing. And I'm not a growl vocal guy necessarily. I can't, I don't like bands that's all they do. But when it's done with an effect like that, it really hits, and it's really cool.
Yeah, when there's a purpose behind the growling, that's what I love. I don't love when it's just all growls all the time. It's like I need some contrast. I need some like dynamics within it. I forgot how much growling there was on this record, because in my mind, this kind of was like the harsher version of a lot of the Haken stuff from like the early 2010s, like Visions and Aquarius. And I knew that there was a little bit of growling, but on my repeated listens, I'm like, oh, right, there's a lot more growling on this than I thought there was.
Yeah, I loved being able to revisit this, honestly, because it had been a minute. So the other song I'm going to go to is one of the second singles, Spark of the Archon, I think it's called. They had a playthrough for this. This is very Haken-y, this song. But it has also a lot of great, really cool parts.
Why can't we see there is more here? More grandeur to life. We are also uninspired. It seems that we've all given up, content with hardly living life.
They're able to do that. This is so cool. The playing is amazing. Honestly.
My head is spinning with this one question. I have reached a dead end. There's not much more I can endure. Perhaps the only option I have is to
I got.
Yeah, for me, I think my favorite parts of these records, because you've been like playing a lot with the middle parts. I love the opening track of Mute and the big epic, I shouldn't say epic, but like the 12.5 minute ending, chromatic aberration. Like I knew I was dealing with a really special record with the first track of Mute, where like it hits you with that sound of wave, or like wall of sound.
Yeah, right. It comes right at you out of the gate. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what you're going to be in for, and it hits you like a ton of bricks. Just that.
You want to check that out? Should I put that on?
Let's do it. Yeah. Hits you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, super cool, man.
I'll mold the world to accept my condition.
The harmonies that they really
know.
figured out the harmonies in an amazing way on this
Yeah.
album. It's fun.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
fun.
So yeah, I had a blast returning to this, because I will check back with it every once in a while, just to be like, oh yeah, I forgot how just phenomenal this is, and why are we only getting one record from these guys?
I know. But yeah, I guess they just said we can't beat this, so we're
That's
done.
it. Once you hit perfection, why bother trying again?
But anyway, yeah, man, two really cool albums. We had Ephrat's No One's Words and Native Construct Quiet World. Yeah, let us know what you think of these two albums, if you've heard them, if you plan on hearing them. And we'll come up with some other concept for the next episode of this and check out a couple more records. But anyways, don't forget to check out Notes Reviews YouTube channel. Always doing some good work over there.
Thanks.
And subscribe to our channel and keep up with what we're doing over here. So see you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for checking out the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on all our socials and progreport.com. And we'll see you all again real soon. Thanks.